In that last video where I was going over the Chris Potter solo from The Source Live, I got so many questions about the app that I was using. The app is called the Amazing Slowdowner, or Amazing Slowdowner. There's a bit of irony in the name for me, for those of you who've known me for a little while, or those in the studio. I'll get to that in a moment. But first, I thought I would share the 3 main reasons that I use this app, as well as a couple of the ways that I use it when I'm actually transcribing. Now, I actually have a gig tonight with Scott Kinsey and Gary Novak and Jimmy Earl. Tomorrow night, June 10th, I'm back at the Baked Potato with my band. So I'm gonna be using this app today, right after I get done telling you how I use it. Oh, I've gotta learn, oh God. So I guess I'm playing this tonight, and I haven't played this in like 2 years. So I'm gonna be using the Amazing Slowdowner app to aid me in that practice. Reason number 1 that I adopted this app, by the way, I wrote a blog post, article, essay, whatever, about this, which also I'll put in the description, but I went through how I use this, or how I used this, and still do use it, to learn 20 plus Snarky Puppy songs in a hurry before going on tour with them. And that's really where I came into this, and that leads us into these 3 reasons why I use this. So, reason number 1. The first reason that I adopted this app is because it's more efficient than the way I used to do it. So the way I used to do it, and by the way, still do it sometimes, is, in fact, I was doing it last night, is CDs. Last night I was on Instagram Live. I've been streaming my practice playing sessions some evenings for the last few weeks. You're trying to shape a narrative in the moment too. So there's some part of it that's like, what if that's always like tracking in a way. I've been doing it around midnight Eastern time. And last night somebody asked about this song, we got into this. My old way of transcribing, the way I did the majority of transcribing that I've done in life, is with a CD player. And I love this method. It's very tactile. I've talked about this in other videos and such, but this is how I would do it. Always in real time, because I didn't have the technology to slow down a CD. So that taught me to get really fast with the pause, play, rewind button. So now I gotta rewind. I try to figure that out, and then pause, play, pause, rewind. So that's the old way for me. CD player, very effective, but not nearly as efficient as using this app where I can set loops. Let me show you. So rather than having to do that with the CD player, or by the way, if you've ever tried doing transcribing with like Spotify or Apple Music or iTunes or whatever, where you're scrubbing on a, whatever you call this, I don't know what the name for this thing is. That is terrible, especially if you're trying to do little tiny parts, which is how I go about transcribing, is little tiny sections. So it's way more efficient, this app, than doing that. So here's the Chris Potter solo I have dialed in. I turn on the loop function, and I'm gonna make a little loop. Let me adjust it a little bit. Make it a little longer. A little shorter. Now I don't have to do that on, anything physical. I don't have to sit there and go pause, play, rewind. So much more efficient. Reason number 2, what was reason number? Oh yeah, is I can save these little loops. So as I'm making the little chunks that I do step by step, I can save them. So in the case of this Potter solo, I pull up the selections that I've saved and I have fill number 1, solo number 1, head and solo so far, crazy high, triplet triads. Let's listen to that. I mean, and I would even start off with less than that, but so if I went back, it'd be like this. Let's go to crazy high. Maybe I want to narrow it down even further. So now I have just a small piece. That is the main reason. And then the final, or the third reason, and the final reason, I guess, while yes, I can upload music, I can definitely do that. That's what I did here. The thing that's absolutely crushing for me about this app is that it syncs with Spotify. So I can sync this with my Spotify account, and once I'm in there, I mean, like I have the whole, for instance, like the Snarky Puppy stuff is in here. I have tons of playlists. Look, this is the virtual studio transcription list. This is everything more than everything even that we've transcribed in the studio for the past couple of years. They're all in here. I realize this is blurry. Okay, but whatever. These are my Spotify playlists. So if I go in here, all right, see, it's just saved. It's great. Trinkle, trinkle, tinkle. And I'll just make sections. 1, AA, B1, AA, B1, B, AA, BA. So those are the 3 reasons. To recap, number 1, it's more efficient than CD players or scrubbing on a digital playlist. Number 2, it allows me to save the loops and segments that I create and that I'm working on. And number 3, it syncs with Spotify or with Apple Music, but I use Spotify and it works with that. So it allows me to travel. Well, I should say this is a bonus. Number 4, bonus is that I've got it on my phone as well as the iPad. Obviously, most of the time I've got this with me, so it's all right here. The music's in the cloud, the work I've done is saved here. One caveat, the saves are local to the device. So whatever kind of loops I make on the phone will save to the phone, but they won't also be on the iPad. Those are separate. Not a really big deal. All the Snarky Puppy repertoire I have in here, so I'll dial this up. This is inside of the app right now. So let's say I go to Whitecap, for instance. I gotta relearn this. I have a menu of little sections that I know I need to shed. I need to get right to those parts of the song. Whitecap solely 1. Really helpful. Now let's talk about the irony I was referring to at the beginning of the video. So I've made videos in the past talking about my advocacy for the act of transcribing music in real time. And the reason for that is, I guess there are 2. First, I think it's a great way to do it. It trains your ears to be faster. It will train you to have faster reaction time with music that you hear and then getting that onto your instrument. That's my belief. Second though, let's be honest, I didn't have this technology available to me when I started transcribing. I had a CD player and CDs, so that's what I used. Now, some people had like a fancy Marantz tape deck or something. I didn't have any of that. Those things were like $600. I used CDs. People before me used records and dropping the needle. There's definitely a lot of power in these methods. That being said, I think you can adapt that methodology to this technology. Ooh, that's a nice little soundbite. And the way is this: instead of starting by slowing something down, try to get it at 100%. This is what I'll do. I'll just still try to make these small fragments and do my best to collect the material, transcribe it audibly at 100% in real time, singing it, playing it, checking it, around and around we go. Once I've got it, once I've sort of lassoed it in, right? Now, instead of just going over to the metronome divorced from the music that I'm checking out, I'll just start to drop the tempo down and work with it at slower tempos with the music. So let's say 80%. I want to make it even more challenging, clean it up more, 50%. That's a tough one. Now, here's the fun thing. Instead of just going back up to 100%, I like to go past it. 105, 106, 8, 110%. Sort of depends on the material itself. This particular thing, this Chris Potter thing, is already bananas as it is, so 105 is about my max out level. And the idea here is gaming around that original point where the music actually lives, really doing some deep dive, slow work on it, being really clean, watching the fingers, note-to-note transitions, everything. But then also challenging myself by going farther than I would think possible. Like if the 100% version already seemed too daunting, what the heck am I doing up here? But you'd be surprised. You press yourself. You know, I'm not saying it's gonna go smashingly the first time, but you're able to pick up some of it. So it's a good challenge. And you just rubber band around it until finally when I get to that 100%, it's like, yep, I can do that. So I guess I'll do one more video of just where we listen to this Chris Potter solo that's so ridiculous. I just felt like it was gonna be too long in this one. Also, I got questions about this neck. I'll probably do a follow-up video on it because there's plenty to talk about, but in short, this is a heritage neck from Boston Sax Shop. It's fantastic. I've really been enjoying exploring it. It's exposing a lot of the problems that my Mark VI neck gives to me all the time. If it's something you're interested in trying, you can use my last name as a discount code. So if you go to Boston Sax Shop, their website, and you go to check out, just use Reynolds when you check out and you get a discount. He sends me a Lamborghini. So it's a win-win. So heritage neck from Boston Sax Shop. And the last thing I'll say is that my virtual studio is currently open right now. I only open a couple of times a year. So if transcribing is something you want to get deeper into, or just shedding in general, practice habits, improvisation, vocabulary, ear training, you know, all the things, you should check out the virtual studio. Just go to bobreynoldsmusic.com/studio. And there's all the information about it. Love to see you in there. And that's it. Thanks for checking this out. And like I said, leave me a comment. Which one of these should I do next? The neck video or the Potter solo geek out session? Can I come in?
16 more minutes. 16
minutes. We're doing this. We're waffles for dinner. Do you think Mama is going to be okay with this? With us having waffles for dinner?
Yeah, she will.
What are you doing with this?
I want to eat some.
Not right now. We're
Just
going to have
like
dinner.
two,
No, we're going to have dinner.
two.
No. I don't know if this is the way to... Oh,
What?
nothing. Everything's fine. Teas and waffles.